Alright guys, change the bedroom into a maybe somewhat of a storage area. Extra office space up here. It's organized chaos. I think I mentioned that what I do is I pull down my bed in here. I pull down the couch and make this into a bed. Gotta put some dishes away over here. Just got done washing them. Yeah, here we are in the RV in the summertime. Here's our summertime setup. Got a nice garden going here. I've got some basil, a couple basil plants. I've got a bunch of pepper plants going here. On this side, we got a couple more pepper plants and another tomato plant here. The garden looks great over here. And the daylilies have just come out. They came out at the same time as the water lilies have. I've got a nice mound of both purple and white potatoes going here. A couple more tomato plants over here and over there. My little frog pond situated between the swans there. All of this is just stuff that has come up on its own. Different types of squash. And there's another mound of potatoes under there. Tomato plant right there. That's where we're keeping the compost. And that's really it with the garden this year. Not getting too crazy with it. Can actually eat those daylilies as well. Last day probably of subbing. And school's pretty much done. I have a gig tomorrow at a school on their last day. And then the following day I have a gig in the evening at a library. And summer school will begin, I believe it begins July 1st. So I will be back at that, and I hope I pick up some more gigs here. I'm still waiting to hear on a grant for the North Country Libraries, and I'm starting to really question whether that will happen at all, or where that stands. I've got the clothesline up for the summer here. So every time I go to the grocery store, it kind of bums me out. It's kind of expensive for things these days. It's like going to the gas pump. But I'm grateful that there's gas to be had, and I'm grateful that there's food to be had. There's a price to pay, but nonetheless, there's food. Fields of corn. Look at all the corn. Oh, I get to slow down and look at the corn right now. That's kind of cool. Kind of hoping this guy will turn at some point here. Watching this guy try to avoid the power lines and the trees. I'm gonna hang back a little bit because wish I'd filmed some of that. That was crazy. Sure what they're growing out here. Yeah, this is big business farming here. They don't mess around. They do not mess around out here in these fields. Alright, we're gonna go this way. Corn, corn. Everywhere you look is corn. Fields of corn. See the mountains over there. Such a beautiful area. I have loved my life on this river. By this river, on this river. I've been really fortunate. I've spent like 14 years with this river. This stretch of river. It's been in my life for a long time. Corn is about knee high now. I love this little thingamajig down there. How cool is that? Ah, such sweet spots along the river here. Nothing is forever. You think you got all the time in the world for things, and you don't. You just don't. This river has been my friend for a long time. And I hope I don't have to leave it. So overgrown in here. It's crazy. How is this little pond over here? It kind of always stays the same. Alright guys, we're almost at the end of our little river road here. To head back to the back home, back to base camp. That's it on this trip.